I'm not really sure why I keep picking up shoes, but I do. And today, I picked up some Jordans. Started my day off at red, white, and blue thrift. And I gotta say, I like coming to this place because they always got something for everybody. Always something new. I found these Adidas Crazy 8s. Seemed like they were a pretty hot commodity when these first launched. It kind of caught my eye. Kind of a bulky shoe. They wanted $24.99 for the sneakers. They were on sale. I did not take them, but I should have. And here's what they were going for on Champ Sports, $140. And then we found these Jordan Retro 8 Aquas from 2014. They were destroyed. I think they only wanted $10 though. And then I happened to come across a pair of sneakers that just caught my eye, and I somewhat just got asphyxiated on these things. The more I stared at them, the more I wanted them. And I kind of realized that these were Jordan 6 Ring Defining Moments editions. They wanted $34.99 for them. Had to give them a quick inspection. These were looking a little bit rough. Looks like they had some browning on the whites. They didn't have original laces. They were just kind of rough. They had definitely been worn, but they were going for a good amount. So I decided, let's take them and let's get to work and see if we can get them restored. So I started off by examining the sneakers, kind of getting a good eye for them. Obviously, taking off the sticker, which they were $34.99 plus tax, which I paid in full because these were not on sale. Decided to pick up some Jackson Galaxy stain and odor remover from Publix because I didn't want to wait for actual shoe cleaner. So I said, you know what, let's just get a brush. We'll try to see if we can get these stains out. Started by trying to undo the knots that these things came with. Crazy. It came with 2 different types of black laces. Got to get new ones for these, but decided, you know what? Well, in the meantime, I'm going to try to get these undone, soak them in some soapy water and see if we can get them at least cleaned while we get these shoes, kind of doing the work. And while I was going through this process, I kind of realized that this was much more of a larger endeavor than I originally planned it to be. This ended up being a major project. So as you can see here, we're just kind of taking off the laces, and I realized that the tongues were kind of asphyxiated to the bottom sole of the shoe. So they were actually strapped down. It was you couldn't lift the tongue. So obviously I kind of had to deal with that, and it was going to complicate things trying to air them out and get them dry in the sun once we got done cleaning them. But decided to kind of break into this odor and stain remover. It is a pet version. Like I said, pet stain removers tend to work better than normal cleaning products that you get for the household. So I decided, you know what, if I have a good shot of cleaning these things, this is going to be it right here. So we decided to just get to work. Started off on the sides and on the tongue, just kind of adjusting the nozzle here, trying to get it right. We started kind of abrasive, kind of get them kind of saturated and soaked, kind of get them going. I had to readjust the nozzle because I had it on spray versus mist. So we just had to put on the mist setting so we can kind of get a nice even coat around the shoe. And then we wanted to kind of do this and kind of multiple patches, do-overs, and just kind of be able to, as you can see, the shoelace kind of got caught in the bristles there. It was kind of in my way, but I didn't want to take the time to kind of pause the video and start over. So I kind of went back and forth with this shoe many times. It took me multiple passes, drying and multiple passes. And it just seemed like the dirt and grime just kept coming off the sneaker. It's very difficult. Like I said, it turned out to be a lot more than I anticipated. When trying to take all the grime off the sneaker, it doesn't look like they had been cleaned at all since the previous owner had them. And I kind of had to be a little gentle, not pushing too hard with the bristles over the shiny parts of the sneaker, because we didn't want to leave kind of marks, but kind of just making sure that we can kind of get all the grime that was all over the sneaker, because it was all of it. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but it was everywhere. So we just making multiple passes and just kind of seeing what we could do. And the thing is, I wasn't really sure at the time. I didn't know if I wanted to keep the sneakers for myself or if I wanted to resell them and arbitrage them in a different market space, such as Marketplace on Facebook, or if I wanted to relist them on eBay. But I decided, you know what, let's just get them clean and then we'll go from there. So I decided I was going to get some water and kind of dilute the concentrate of the cleaner here, as I was getting a lot of cleaner. And I was trying to get also a good foam going. To realize that, if we could foam the product up a little bit, we could kind of remove some of those particles and lodged grinding dirt that had been sitting inside of these crevices. Now, this is not a normal material. So on the side of the sneakers, where you have the 6 rings, as you can see, this is kind of where I had done a few passes, and as you can see, it's starting to look a little better. But on the side, like I said, it was very difficult. You know, this is very grainy, pocketed material. So, you know, it was very tough to get through. So after a lot of work and repeated just scrubbing, we kind of got to this point here that you see. So I must say, cleaning shoes is not the easiest thing. I know there are some people on videos on TikTok and on YouTube who make it look pretty easy. Maybe if you were using actual shoe cleaner, and depending on what shoe cleaner you were using, it might be easier than what I had to go through. So these sneakers, like I said, was more than what I showed in my video. I used multiple passes, multiple dries, and then there were like these little patches like in between the 6 rings that would come back up, and I would have to be like, oh my gosh, and then go back and like re-scrub it and spray it after I just got done drying them. And then they did actually go through a full soak. So, you know, and it was raining outside, so I couldn't like just put them outside and let them dry. So I'm over here with a hair dryer, you know, just drying them off piece by piece. I even threw these things on less dry in the dryer. Yeah. So I put these things through a lot, and overall, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome. As you can see, what is this? So far, I think the sneakers they came out all right. So one thing I did struggle with, see this black patent leather that I was talking about earlier in the video, it actually started to bleed upwards into this white part here where the 6 rings are, and I struggled to get that bleed off. So it's almost like there's a dye behind this patent leather, because if you look in the inside, it's white all the way through. So there's got to be some kind of dye here that actually bled upwards, because it was just started to creep, and then I had to continuously, you know, take out this stainage here. So, and like I said, these are probably the best laces that are on this one. On the other one, as you can see, pretty much the same thing, but the laces on this, these are not original. There's actually supposed to be whites on both, and it's got that little piece. I'm not sure what it's called. Anyway, there's like a little piece here. I think it's like a lace lock, and that's missing there too. But overall, these cleaned up pretty good, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I think this is one of Jordan's best looking sneakers. I like the gold, but overall, I think this is the bottoms, they're really clean. I didn't really focus too much on that because of the nonsense that I had to go through with the rest of it. But I think overall, for the $35 that I spent thrifting these Jordan 6 rings finding moment editions, I think I got some money here. So that's it for this one, guys. If you like what you saw, if you like my content, please like and follow, share. See you on the next one. I do got another pair of shoes that are coming up. We just acquired them. I'm gonna save that for